plans to issue proof of vaccination. Teachers to get vaccine ahead of school reopenings. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News at 10. The government plans to issue COVID-19 passports as a method of verification for individuals who have received the vaccine jab. According to Health Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Adam Baba, there are two proposals. Either the verification is displayed in the recipient's smartphone via the MySejahtera app, or maintain the proof in physical form, which is a passport that can be accepted by other countries.
Kalau ikut rancangan kita perlu lihat juga bagaimana negara-negara lain boleh collaborate dengan pasport vaksin tersebut. Terutama sekali apabila kita keluar negara, pada hari ini kalau kita pergi ke Arab Saudi, kita perlu ada yellow book tu, iaitu kita perlu ada yellow book dengan Arab Saudi. Tapi negeri-negeri lain kita akan cuba untuk berunding bagaimanakah kita boleh selaraskan pasport vaksin di peringkat internasional ya.
Commenting on the COVID-19 vaccine supply, Dato' Sri Dr. Adam informed that a program to monitor recipients of the vaccine after its administration jab will be conducted along with the vaccine manufacturers. This is crucial to ensure smooth and efficient distribution, as well as guaranteeing the quality, safe and effectiveness of the vaccine. A protection scheme will be created to compensate vaccine recipients in the case of any serious side effects surfacing. The government has assured teachers today that they would be included in the first phase of the national COVID-19 immunization program ahead of schools reopening in March, with those exhibiting comorbidity amongst the priority recipients of the vaccine. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said he would raise the matter during the next special committee on COVID-19 vaccine supply access guarantee JKJAV scheduled for next week, following discussions with Health Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Adam Baba and Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah earlier today.
I will ask the Minister of Education to list down the priority recipients from the teachers list first. The priority recipients from the teachers will be teachers with comorbidity, those at high risk of negative outcomes if they get COVID-19. So the short answer is yes, we will try to accommodate teachers. Yes, we will try to accommodate some of the frontline media in the first phase, subject to availability, subject to supply, but also based on risk assessment. We cannot do all the teachers at once.
Khairi also disclosed that his ministry has been receiving numerous requests from many groups to be included in the first phase of the vaccination program, with those from the teaching profession expressing a reasonable enough request for consideration. He stressed that the government was facing constraints due to insufficient supplies meant for distribution in the first phase, as around 500,000 frontliners from the health and non-health sectors have been registered. Yesterday, the Education Ministry announced that Malaysian students are expected back in classrooms under the new normal from the beginning of March. Malaysia received its first shipment of Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine earlier today after months of anticipation. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the national COVID-19 immunization program will commence on the 24th of February. This is 2 days ahead of the original schedule of the 26th of February.
Saya juga nak umumkan bahawa kita telah buat keputusan untuk awalkan permulaan program imunisasi COVID-19 kebangsaan, di mana pada hari Rabu iaitu 24 hari bulan Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri dan Yang Bahagia Tan Sri Noor Hisham Abdullah, Ketua Pengarah Kesihatan, akan menerima suntikan vaksin pertama di Klinik Kesihatan Putrajaya.
Medical and non-medical frontliners will be joining Tan Sri Muhyiddin and Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham to be vaccinated on the same day. Khairi, who is also the coordinating minister for National COVID-19 Immunization Program, said the efficiency of the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency (NPRA) and the Pharmacy Division of the Health Ministry (MOH) allowed for the earlier start of immunization program. 271,802 frontliners had registered for the vaccination program. 57.3% of them are medical and health personnel, while the remaining 42.7% are from other sectors, such as the Malaysian Armed Forces, Royal Malaysia Police, Malaysian Volunteer Department, Prisons Department, Royal Malaysian Customs Department, and Fire and Rescue Department. In a related development, the first batch of COVID-19 vaccine is stored at 6 facilities in Selangor, 4 in Johor, 3 in Kuala Lumpur, 2 in Pulau Pinang and 1 in Putrajaya. According to Khairi, this involves deliveries via land transport from Singapore to Johor at 2 p.m. earlier today, as well as the ones flown to Pulau Pinang at 6 p.m.
For the 16 sites, I cannot give you the exact site, obviously, for security reasons. But we have 4 sites in Johor, 2 sites in Pulau Pinang, 6 sites in Selangor, 3 sites in Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur, and 1 site in Wilayah Persekutuan Putrajaya. For now. In total, we have 54 pusat simpanan vaccine all over the country, including Sabah and Sarawak. But for this first shipment, it's going to be sent to those 14 sites in the states that I mentioned earlier. The last mile delivery will be handled by bahagian pharmacy of KKM. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Furthermore, the second batch of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines is expected to arrive on the 26th February on Friday. This will be followed by subsequent batches every 2 weeks until the full delivery of Malaysia's purchase order has been completed. The government has signed an agreement with Pfizer Malaysia for the procurement of 12,799,800 doses of the vaccine to vaccinate 20% of the population with 2 doses per individual. After over a year of battling the COVID-19 pandemic, the much-awaited vaccine has arrived in Malaysia on a special aircraft, which landed at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, earlier this morning. Flight MH604, bearing the Jalur Gemilang livery to symbolize the vaccine for Malaysians, landed at 10:07 a.m. with the first batch of 312,390 doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. The passenger-to-cargo P2C flight utilized an Airbus 330-300 operated by MAB Cargo Sdn Bhd Mas Cargo, the cargo arm of national carrier Malaysia Airlines Berhad. DHL Express worked with MAB Cargo Sdn Bhd to deliver the vaccines directly to 16 storage facilities throughout the country. The Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, provided security escort for every movement of COVID-19 vaccine that arrives in the country. Among those present to witness the historic moment were Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Adam Baba, Coordinating Minister for National COVID-19 Immunization Program Khairi Jamaluddin, and Transport Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong. The arrival of the vaccine will kickstart the National COVID-19 Immunization Program, the largest vaccination program ever in the country. The vaccine has been certified effective and approved by the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency (NPRA) of the Health Ministry. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 vaccination process in Johor will be carried out in stages beginning next week. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Adam Baba said there are 54 vaccination centres and 4 vaccine storage centres identified in Johor. He said this after witnessing the arrival of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine in Johor via the causeway this afternoon. Also present was Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Hasni Mohamad. The DHL Express container truck carrying the vaccines from Singapore arrived at the Sultan Iskandar building at about 2 p.m. Datuk Sri Dr. Adam said Johor received a total of 73,710 doses of the vaccine in the delivery. The vaccines were delivered straight to the storage centres, said Dr. Adam, declining to reveal the locations of the storage centres. The first batch of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccines arrived safely at the Penang International Airport, PIA, in Bayan Lepas today. The Boeing 747 Cathay Pacific Cargo CX-079 aircraft landed at the tarmac of the PIA cargo section at about 5:35 p.m.
Program imunisasi kebangsaan ini telah membawa harapan untuk membawa kita ke pemulihan dari apa yang berlaku. It is my earnest hope, saya amat berharap program mass vaccination ini akan berjaya dalam menyelamatkan nyawa dan menyelamatkan livelihood.
Malaysia Airport Berhad workers unloaded the vaccines in stages under the watchful eyes of a special police force unit. 3 boxes containing about 16,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines were slowly transferred to the ground staff of the airport. The shipment of vaccines left Paris in Belgium and was in transit at the Leipzig-Halle Airport in Germany before continuing its journey to Singapore for distribution to Asia-Pacific countries, including Malaysia. It was the most nerve-wracking hour in Captain Hamdan Che Ismail's 29-year career in the aviation industry as he navigated flight MH604, carrying the first batch of COVID-19 vaccines from Singapore to Malaysia today. Besides flying the plane, Captain Hamdan also needed to ensure the correct temperature was maintained in the aircraft at all times so as to not affect the effectiveness of the vaccines, which must be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius. The Malaysian Airlines Flight Operations Director admitted he was a little nervous about today's task.
Amat terharu kerana diberi peluang oleh syarikat penerbangan Malaysia dan juga Mas Kargo bagi memilih saya menerbangkan penerbangan ini pertama kali untuk membawa vaksin ke Malaysia. Tapi saya rasa usaha yang dilakukan oleh kaki-tangan kami dan juga pihak-pihak kerajaan yang memastikan semua urusan untuk membawa vaksin pertama ini berjalan lancar, dan di sepanjang perjalanan tadi daripada Kuala Lumpur ke Singapura saya boleh merumuskan semuanya adalah seperti yang dirancangkan.
The passenger to cargo P2C flight operated by MAB Cargo Sdn Berhad Mas Cargo, which is the cargo arm of national carrier Malaysia Airlines Berhad, used an Airbus 330-300 aircraft decorated with a Jarul Gemilang livery. Captain Hamdan said he and 5 other crew members of the flight, namely an assistant pilot, 2 cabin crew, an officer from Mas Cargo, and an engineer, left for Singapore at 6 a.m. today and arrived there an hour later. According to him, it took about 2 hours to transfer the COVID-19 vaccines onto the aircraft before it was allowed to take off again at about 9 a.m. Malaysia recorded a spike in COVID-19 cases today with 3,297 new infections registered in the past 24 hours. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said Perak broke the record previously held by Selangor by logging in the highest number of infections. The state, he said, registered 1,250 new cases, followed by Selangor and Johor with 868 cases and 431 cases respectively. According to Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham, this brings the total number of COVID-19 cases to date to 283,569, including 33,304 active cases. The last time Malaysia registered more than 3,000 COVID-19 daily cases was on the 13th of February with 3,499 cases, after which the figures dropped to over 2,000 cases. He also said that the number of recoveries continues to outnumber daily new infections, with 4,456 patients discharged in the past 24 hours. This raised the total number of recoveries from COVID-19 to 249,209. He added that there were also 5 new fatalities today, bringing the national death toll to 1,056. Currently, 209 patients are being treated at intensive care units, with 91 requiring respiratory aid. In addition to the health DG said, 6 new workplace clusters were detected today, 5 in Johor and 1 in Pulau Pinang. On another note, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is the first COVID-19 vaccine given conditional registration approval by the Drug Control Authority, DCA, and the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, NPRA, after going through the proper evaluation process, and its use will be closely monitored. He also said that the vaccine produced by Pfizer-BioNTech combinatory concentrate for dispersion for injection was approved on the 8th of January this year. Commenting further on the matter in a statement released, Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham said the conditional registration was given to provide immediate access to the COVID-19 vaccine during the pandemic period using a risk-based approach without compromising on quality, safety and efficacy. He said other criteria for allowing the conditional approval, including the vaccine, has been registered or given emergency use authorization by the regulatory body of the producing country or the regulatory reference body DCA or the World Health Organization WHO. Senior Minister for Security Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said a glove factory, its staff quarters and a construction site in Perak will go under an Enhanced Movement Control Order EMCO from tomorrow. In a statement today, he said the Central Medicare quarters, factory and construction site in Hilir, Perak will be under the total lockdown till March 7th. The senior minister said this follows 185 people testing positive for COVID-19 from 1,966 screenings by the Health Ministry there since 19 February. He said the EMCO was announced to facilitate health screenings on 2,808 Malaysians and foreign workers who lived in the locality. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said the EMCO affecting the Taiping prison and the Taiping prison staff quarters will end tomorrow as scheduled. He said the Health Ministry has carried out 482 screenings with 142 positive cases reported from the prison cluster. He added that the Health Ministry has confirmed a downward trend in new positive cases from the locality. Coming up next, Kuantan is now a city. But first, the country's economy is expected to show a positive development by the middle of this year once the national COVID-19 immunization program, which begins on Wednesday, gathers momentum. Malaysian Academy of Sciences fellow Dr. Madeline Burma said economists predicted that Malaysia would be able to revive its economy starting the third quarter of this year, depending on the smooth implementation of the vaccination program. Elaborating further on the matter, Dato' Madeline said the services sector was one of the sectors that needed to be given priority in the vaccination program, besides the manufacturing sector to help increase production rates. She hopes with the national immunization program underway, the country's tourism and export sectors could also be mobilized again to open more economic opportunities for industry players. Meanwhile, Dato' Madeline said investments from international pharmaceutical companies in the research and production of the COVID-19 vaccine in the country could help reduce the unemployment rate. She said the potential for collaborative research and vaccine production in the country would open up opportunities for recruitment of highly skilled graduates. She added that this is a good development in the effort towards a high-tech country in line with the launch of the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint. In other news, Kuantan, the capital of Pahang, is now a city. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah proclaimed the status in a historic event today. His Majesty, who is the Sultan of Pahang, decreed the appointment of Kuantan Municipal Council President Dato' Hamdan Hussein as the first mayor of Kuantan. The proclamation ceremony took place at the Kuantan City Complex in full compliance with the Standard Operating Procedures (SOPs) of the Conditional Movement Control Order (CMCO) enforced in Pahang. Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Aminah Maimuna Iskandaria, the Regent of Pahang, Tunku Hasanal Ibrahim Alam Shah Al Sultan Abdullah, and other children of their Majesties attended the event. Also present were Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and his wife Puan Sri Noraini Abdul Rahman, Pahang Menteri Besar, Dato Seri Wan Rosdi Wan Ismail, among others, as well as members of the Pahang State Administration. In his royal address, Al Sultan Abdullah expressed his desire to see Kuantan, where the local government system came into being through the setting up of the Kuantan Sanitary Board on the 1st of August 1913, achieve much success and evolve into a city of excellence. Terengganu cyclist becomes champion of UCI Grand Prix in Turkey. Stay with us. Just hours after the national cycling track champion Azizul Hasni Awang won a gold medal in Australia, another Malaysian cyclist, Harif Saleh, also made a name for himself in Turkey. Harif, 32, who represents the Terengganu cycling team TSG, proved that his cycling had not rusted despite resting for almost a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic by winning the Manavgat Grand Prix in Turkey. His victory in the 149-kilometer race should be the best motivation for Harif and TSG to hunt for more success this season. The TSG rider finished the race in 3 hours, 13 minutes and 35 seconds to excel in his first race after a year out of competitions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The UCI 1.2 race saw Polish rider Alan Banatsek from Mazowsze Serce Polski and Andrzej Kulik of Team Ukraine completing the podium, while Italian sprinter Andrea Guardini from Giotti Victoria Savini finished fourth in the same peloton. Another TSG rider, Youssef Reguigui of Algeria, finished seventh in the same group. Interestingly, Azizul Hasni, who was given the nickname the Pocket Rocket Man, and Muhammad Harif both are natives of Terengganu, and their success has brought glory not only to the state but also for Malaysia. Azizul Hasni and another Malaysian, Muhammad Shah Firdaus Sarom, dominates the men's elite sprint event of the Victoria Elite Track Championships on Saturday. The 33-year-old Azizul Hasni edged Muhammad Shah Firdaus in the final at the Darabin International Sports Centre Velodrome. The Dungun-born Azizul Hasni, who has a personal best of 9.548 seconds, clocked 10.126 seconds in the qualifiers, to top the preliminary round, followed by Australian Sam Gallagher in second place and Muhammad Shah Firdaus in third. En route to the final, Azizul Hasni, the 2016 Rio Olympics Keirin bronze medalist, overpowered Mace Coulson of Brunswick Cycling Club in the quarterfinals and Blackburn Cycling Club's Conor Rowley in the last four stage. Muhammad Shah Firdaus bettered two Blackburn Cycling Club riders, Sean Sleary and Gallagher, in the quarterfinals and semi-finals respectively to set up the clash against Azizul Hasni in the final stage. The two elite riders based in Melbourne under the guidance of head coach John Baisley are preparing for the postponed Tokyo Olympics, where Azizul Hasni is the country's best hope to win its maiden gold. That's it from us this evening. In our top story, plans to issue proof of vaccination in the pipeline. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Cynthia Arthur. Thank you for watching.